Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a new guide for Diablo 4 Season 6 with an interesting discovery. Now looking behind me, this is a Chinese player that cleared pit 150 in about 3 minutes and also 30 seconds. So what is happening is that players are actually sharing this in the community, and I do want to warn you guys, this can potentially be not an intentional bug or trick that the communities are using just lately. And you can see on the gears, they have 18 maximum resolve, 25 maximum barrier. And I have been making some notes of the gears they have. It is pretty crazy. And in this video, we'll go through what are they doing and what is the method. So they have a method of master crafting for 26% barrier and 18 maximum resolve. Now again guys, I do want to warn you, I do not think this is intentionally done by the developers, and the Chinese players are finding a trick in the game to craft and also master craft on a different class. They are master crafting on the Necromancer, then coming back to the Spiritborn to use this trick. It is not glitching, it is nothing, crazy, not disconnecting, but I don't think this is intentionally designed by the developers. And this is a warning before we get into this video. This is how they can do crazy masterwork and also tempering to get plus 18 resolve and also massive barrier gain, or they can get, massive percentage of controls and also plus 7 resilient. And we'll go through in this video how they do this. And of course, by using this method, players with Mystic Circle, players with any build is pushing for the pit and also endgame super fast. Because the gears are endgame, and not only the weapons are strong, you can see that the pens, they have plus 18 resolve and also massive barrier gain. And he will be showing over here that the gears they have is pretty much broken with this new Mastercraft tech. And you can see this is plus 18 again with massive barrier gain. Now, before we dive into the video, shout out and also thank you for Liu Li for sharing this one. And he does have a Chinese video to explain everything into details. And what I'm doing here is I'm simply translating what he said from Chinese to English, because I was not aware of this potential method with swapping classes to Mastercraft for double crits. We're learning exactly from him. And again, guys, a warning for you, any of you that wants to try this method. It is something that is available in the game, but this can potentially get hotfixed. The Chinese content creators and also community are saying if you're using perfect gear for this one, it is not recommended just in case it gets fixed. So just use anything that with a maximum life, greater effects on it. If you plan to use this method, that should be enough. So you can see they're not trying to use perfect gears. Some of them just have one maximum life gears, and that's what they're doing with those gears, and it's incredibly broken. So starting with this method, what is happening and how this is done is, first, the Chinese players are going onto a Necromancer. So here I'm on my non-seasonal Necromancer, and they're going to tempering. So what the players have realized is the inner tempering for defense and also utility for Necromancer for any piece of the armor gears. If you go to defense and you can see the profane cage, there's 1 to 2 spike armor, right? And then there's also in the utility section for the Thought Army, there's again 1 to 2 spike armor. So what the players are doing is they're getting a legendary gear and then you're going to try to get spike armor. And let me show you guys over here. And basically they are rerolling onto spike armor. The moment they did get spike armor on utility or defense, like here, it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2. And then they're going to roll on defense for spike armor again. So let me show you guys over here if I can get it. Again, guys, I'm only demonstrating this one. I'm not encouraging you to do this or what happens. I'm just translating what happens and how they are so broken in the Chinese community. So now that I got both spike armor, this actually allows this gear to be masterworked and also crafted, and then they got to try to hit all the spike armor. So let's see. So notice that here it hits the spike armor, and notice that all of a sudden with one mastercraft with 4, it's already golden. So this double counts. So you're basically double count, triple count, and if you get 3 crit on the mastercraft on the spike armor, and then finally what you do is you go back onto your Spiritborn account. So let me show you guys what they did over here. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I kind of don't want to abuse that. I think it's too overdo, but if you want to do it, so notice that here after he got the triple crit, he went back onto his Spiritborn and rerolled that into resolve, maximum resolve, and also maximum barrier gain again with the leftover rerolls of tempering. And this is how they were able to achieve crazy endgame gears with massive resilience, and also over here with massive amount of barrier gain and also resolve. So the method is, again, they're getting double spike armor, then they masterwork this one to 12, hitting the spike armor. The chance of hitting the spike armor is actually really high. So it is 2 out of 5. So here are the spike armor ones. It is preferable that you hit all of them onto it. So 2 out of 5 masterwork to success each of the times. You can see just succeeding once, I'm already golden with +2 and +3. And finally, take this piece onto the Spiritborn and swap it back to the craftings you wanted. And this one can be the maximum resolve, maximum barrier, and this one can be, anything you wanted that is massively boosted. So here, after hitting all the spike armor, he's going to swap onto the other gears, and now he have barrier gain and also maximum resolve. They're also testing this one with chance to control enemies and also maximum resilience. So this is pretty much the method. Again, guys, not intentionally abusing any of the bugs, but this seems to be the intended feature in the game. Necromancer can craft 2 times with tempering, with defense and on the spike armor, and also with utility on the spike armor. So they're double dipping, and then they're using the tempering effect to get this one onto the Necromancer. So everyone wants to play a Necromancer and then go onto the Spiritborn. Now the bigger question is, the Chinese content creators saying, how do you get those craftings on the Necromancer? So what they recommend is start a Necromancer, play a bit of Helltide, or play anything, open a few of the Helltide cheers, and it takes about 10 to 20 Helltide cheers to get the spike armor tempering crafting recipe in this new season. And then you can do this one at your own risk, and then you can become super powerful, and then potentially push for the pit and also any content in the game using some pretty much broken gears. So you can see here a player was testing this particular method, and let me show you guys at the start. So at the start, he actually shows off his gears. He's like, hey, so with a new tag, I have new gears, and with those new gears, I'm actually pushing the pit 150 with ease, because all the new gears you see here, they are pretty much broken. And he's like, oh, everything melts now, because he is getting 18 plus resolve stacks. And you can see on the gameplay, he has 44 resolve, and he has tons of more barrier gain, a lot more life, and also more resilient if he wanted to go to that route. So yes, well, what can I say? I'll have the links of the particular notes available for you guys, and I'll have the Chinese content creators link and also the video available for you guys. And yep, that is the latest update for the Chinese meta. So no matter if you're playing Mystic Circle, if you're playing the Explosion of Vulnerability, if you're playing Moonrise, if you play any variation of the Spiritborn, and if you want to try to get some easy masterwork, this is the latest tag in the Chinese community, and they're not hiding this one. They're revealing this one, and this is the reason how they can now push for pit in less than 4 or 3 minutes. Now before we finish, the Chinese content creators have recommended if you're using this method, you might use a lot of tempering counts. It is recommended to use the stock score to raise those of the tempering counts, but even with this, you might lose all your tempering. And they recommend just salvaging the gear that failed the tempering and move on to the next gear. And this is why they also recommend to not use the best gears if you plan to attempt this, because you might be losing all the tempering counts and potentially break the gear before you achieve the perfect result.